The world was once darker, wilder, a place where ancient forests hid the bones of forgotten kings. Shadows stretched long, and a man could lose himself in the trees or in his own heart. The air was thick with damp earth, wood smoke, and the metallic scent of fear, of steel. Life's worth was measured by the strength of a sword arm and the loyalty to a lord. Stone castles clawed at a grey sky, cold and built for war, not comfort. Inside, torchlight flickered against endless dark, illuminating faces marked by hardship and hope. Knights stood guard, chainmail clinging to their bodies, hands never far from their swords. They spoke of chivalry, a code that promised honor, mercy, and truth. But outside, ideals were drowned by the clash of steel, the splintering of shields, and the dying breaths of men. This was the contradiction: soaring ideals, brutal realities. Knights swore to protect the weak, serve God, and show mercy. Yet they were weapons, trained from boyhood to kill. How could a man be both protector and killer? This question haunted medieval Europe. Peace was fragile, feud simmered, and violence could erupt from a single insult. Men rode out under banners, faces grim, hearts torn between fear and duty. They claimed to defend honor and king, but mostly they rode to shed blood. In the age of chivalry, blood was shed in rivers. The land held its breath, waiting for the next storm. Light and shadow danced, but darkness always lingered. In this world, the echo of steel was never far away. Before war, a knight learned violence in tournaments, grand spectacles outside castle walls. Trumpets blared, crowds gathered, and knights arrived in gleaming armor. The joust was the main event, two knights charging, lances shattering, the crowd roaring. It was deadly practice. Injuries and even death were common. Beyond the joust, the melee was a chaotic brawl with blunted swords, tempers flaring, bones breaking. War games blurred into real violence. Survival was the lesson. Duels settled matters of honor, trial by combat, fought to first blood or death. Two men faced each other at dawn, steel drawn, silence broken only by the clash of blades. Here, killing was personal, a cold, intimate act. Tournaments offered fame and fortune, but also a taste of real blood. Young knights learned the rhythm of combat, the weight of armor, and the desperation for breath. Rivalries were born, grudges settled, and reputations made or broken. The line between sport and war was thin. In these games, a knight learned what it meant to fight and to kill. The spectacle masked the brutality, but the blood was real. Every victory was a step closer to the horrors of true battle, and every loss a lesson in survival. The 100 Years' War tested chivalry in fire and mud. England and France clashed for generations, turning fields to wasteland and villages to ash. Famous battles, Crécy, Poitiers, Agincourt, saw the flower of French chivalry cut down. French knights, armoured and proud, charged into storms of English arrows. The longbow, simple but deadly, shattered the old order. At Agincourt, knights drowned in mud, slaughtered by archers and common soldiers. Mercy and ransom were forgotten. Survival ruled. The war proved a peasant's arrow could kill a noble from afar. Warfare changed. Strategy and numbers mattered more than individual honour. Mercenaries roamed, fighting for coin, not cause. The chivalrous knight became a relic. Brutality became the norm. The land was ravaged, the people suffered. Ideals faded in the face of endless conflict. The age of the lone champion was ending. War had become a machine, grinding all beneath it. Edward, the Black Prince, embodied chivalry's glory and its darkness. At Poitiers, he led a small English force to victory, capturing the French king and treating him with honour. He was hailed as the perfect knight, brave, merciful, a legend in his own time. But years later, betrayed by the city of Limoges, The prince's mercy vanished. Sick and embittered, he ordered a massacre. Over 3,000 men, women and children killed. The hero who once served a captive king at dinner now presided over a bloodbath. His name, once a symbol of chivalry, became stained with cruelty. The line between hero and monster blurred. War revealed the darkness in every heart, even the noblest. The Black Prince's story is a warning. Ideals can be undone by vengeance. Chivalry's brightest star cast the darkest shadow. In the end, even legends are human. The code could inspire greatness or justify horror. The world remembered both, and the myth of the perfect knight was forever changed. Honor was a knight's foundation, but power often shattered it. John the Fearless and Louis of Orléans, cousins and rivals, swore a sacred oath of peace. In public they reconciled, in secret hatred simmered. Louis, trusting the oath, let his guard down. Days later, assassins struck. Louis was hacked to death in the Paris streets. John admitted to ordering the murder, claiming it was for the kingdom's good. A holy oath was broken, plunging France into civil war. Chivalry's code was exposed as fragile, easily discarded for ambition. Trust was destroyed, and the kingdom bled. The act showed that even sacred words could be twisted. The bridge of trust burned, leaving only betrayal. In the pursuit of power, honor was the first casualty. The cost was paid in blood. The Wars of the Roses turned English knights against each other, brother against brother. Lancaster and York fought for the crown, tearing the land apart for 30 years. Betrayal and shifting loyalties ruled. The old codes of chivalry were abandoned. Battles like Towton saw rivers run red, mercy forgotten. No quarter was given. Defeated men were hunted down. Kingmakers like Warwick raised and toppled kings for their own gain. Oaths meant little. Loyalty was bought and sold. Paranoia and fear gripped the nobility. Trust vanished. Richard III's rise, stained by accusations of child murder, symbolized chivalry's decay. The knight as protector became a myth. The wars left a legacy of cynicism and scars on England's soul. The last embers of the old ideal burned out. Only the memory and the warning remained. The age of knights ended, but chivalry's shadow lingers. Gunpowder and armies changed war, but the code left its mark. Stories of Arthur, Lancelot and Roland endure. Tales of honor, loyalty and the struggle to be good in a dark world. We know the truth. The past was blood and broken promises, yet we still long for heroes, for a world where strength serves mercy. The violence of that age shaped our world, borders, governments, and even our ideals. Innovation was born from conflict. The scars remain. The memory of bloodshed warns us. Unchecked ambition and forgotten honor lead to ruin. We look back with fascination and horror, seeing both the gleam and the rust. The songs and screams echo together. It was an age of impossible ideals and terrible realities. Saints and butchers, often the same man. The human heart is a battlefield. Our better angels and demons forever at war. The long shadow of the sword reminds us this battle never ends, and it's one we cannot afford to lose.